program was established under the MOU with the Health Services Executive of Ireland. Private providers collaborated in providing support and ensuring that dialysis treatment, MRI, and other diagnostic services became available in Grenada. Financial support was provided to many persons needing medical treatment overseas and from private services at home. Negotiations were completed with the government and the people of Cuba to implement the Miracle Eye program, where thousands of persons receive free care and attention in Cuba and at home. In the area of youth, sports, and community development, millions of dollars were spent to construct and rehabilitate facilities such as the Busheju Sports and Cultural Center, River Sally Community Center, the Ballet Park in Carriacou, and many, many more. In Progress Park in St. Andrews, the first phase of work was completed. The Cuthbert Peters Park was expanded and elevated, costing over $1 million, and the contract for the second phase was already signed when we left office. A number of other playing fields and sporting facilities, such as basketball courts and other projects throughout the country, were developed and undertaken to ensure that those facilities were available for young people and others. The National Cricket Stadium was rebuilt and reopened, attracting international matches. The Emmalin project was launched and provided opportunities for thousands of unemployed young people to acquire skills and to gain on-the-job experience, while at the same time being paid $700 per month. Special youth at-risk projects were launched, catering for youth and students who are unemployed and delinquent. The Grenada Youth Enterprise Program provided opportunities for young people to start their own businesses, many of them who are successful today. Leadership programs were started and expanded, providing opportunities for young people to develop leadership skills and to acquire life skills. The construction of the Youth Rehabilitation Center in St. Andrews commenced, costing government over $4 million. Parenting programs were implemented as a means of giving a second chance to young persons who gave up on their education and gave up on life. Under communication works and public utilities, over $700 million was spent developing and maintaining an excellent road network throughout Grenada. Thousands of ordinary persons in every community were given part-time employment through the road maintenance and the bushing program. Millions of dollars were placed in the pockets of poor and ordinary persons. In addition, environmental road wardens were hired permanently to maintain the roads in every constituency. Millions of dollars were spent on building a West Coast sea defense from St. George's to St. Mark's. A bus terminus was built in St. George's, and phase 1 of the Market Square project was completed. The cruise port project in St. George's was completed with ISPS regulated security systems, a welcome center, jetty plaza, and vendors' booths. Rock stabilization and landslip projects were undertaken island-wide, costing the government millions of dollars. The Greater Grenville project was negotiated with the Caribbean Development Bank, and funding was approved for a bus terminus in Grenville, new market and abattoir, and many other facilities which will enhance the image of Grenville. Social development, gender, and family affairs. Over 2,000 Provident Fund beneficiaries receive monthly pension from the National Insurance Scheme. Over 5,000 elderly and disabled persons receive a monthly allowance from the government. All needy veterans were added to the list of eligible recipients. A burial assistance program provided financial assistance to needy families. A disaster fund provided support to fire and flood victims. Needy families received a monthly allowance from a necessitous fund for school children. A new program was to assist eligible, needy, and elderly persons with pipe-borne water supply. The Diamond Housing Project in St. Mark's, the Dunfermline Housing Project in St. Andrews, all for low and middle income families were built. The Lackalome, Mongay, and Subis housing projects were all started before we left office. Funding provided for civil society organizations like the Grenada Council for the Disabled, GrenSave, Adolescent Mothers, and others, all of those programs, funding for them were increased. And so we provided support for the NGO community. We were progressing at full speed, and some may say more than full speed, until Hurricane Ivan approached and visited us. And Hurricane Ivan was later followed by Hurricane Emmalin in 2005, creating, as we all know, severe destruction and hardship for the people of Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. Despite the disaster created by Hurricanes Ivan and Emmalin, Grenada was back up and ready in record time for business again. And this, brothers and sisters, had to do most definitely with the grace of God, the work of the new National Party's government, the people of Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique, the international community, and again, of course, our brothers and sisters, Grenadians living abroad. And for that, we were recognized internationally. As if it was not enough, Grenada continued to move ahead. Following the hurricanes, the new National Party had to quickly find ways to deal with the situation of rising cost of living, increased food prices as the cost of fuel increased internationally. This change on the global front started to affect Grenadians who had just started to recover from the ravages of Ivan and Emmalin. The NNP government, one that I like to describe as a government that is good at dealing with crisis, again took the bull by the horn and quickly developed initiatives and took steps to cushion the effects of the rising cost of living. And so a number of programs were developed for the vulnerable in difficult and hard times. Some of these programs include the implementation of the free meal program, targeting vulnerable families with children under 15 years. The commencement of an emergency food basket program, again targeting needy families. The provision of free transportation to students of Tamsisi, whose parents could not afford to send them to school. The expansion of the primary school financial assistance program, providing books, uniform, and other assistance to students identified by their teachers as needy. Expansion of the school feeding program for students across the island. Expansion of the school book rental program for needy families. Increasing the number of persons under the old age pension list, and that's persons who are receiving $150 monthly from the government. Provision of financial assistance to necessitous persons, and that again was increased as a result of the crisis. And the expansion of the free medicine and free water program. Brothers and sisters, you had a government that worked and worked and worked in the interests of the people of Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. It will take me a couple weeks speaking to explain to you all that this government has done. I would be very honest in saying to you, I would have liked to come here and to stop at this point and to conclude by saying that we have a new government, give them a chance. I would have loved to stop here and say we have a new government that is doing well. Unfortunately, brothers and sisters, I can't.